If you have type 2 diabetes and you're tired of being told it's chronic and something you'll just have to manage forever, if your A1C is controlled but your medication list keeps growing or stays the same, and you know deep down you're capable of more than this, you're in the right place. This is the Diabetes Remission Roadmap podcast. We're Brian Bisher and Corey Jenks, two pharmacists who spent over 2 decades inside healthcare. And we started this show because we got tired of watching capable people stuck getting managed instead of rebuilt. Here's what most people aren't told. Type 2 diabetes isn't just a blood sugar problem, it's a muscle and energy storage problem. When your body loses strength and metabolic flexibility, blood sugar rises, and you can rebuild that. On this show, we break the scripts that say more meds are inevitable, you're destined to just manage, remission isn't possible, and instead we teach you how to build muscle, eat in a way that keeps you full, and regain control of your health again. No extremes, no shame, just practical strategies to help you move toward remission and lead your health again. Let's get to work.
Welcome back to the Diabetes Remission Roadmap podcast. Brian, you're looking fit today. You're just looking extra fit. I don't know what it is.
Corey, I've been following our workouts. Pretty much what it comes down to is just been doing what we preach. So yeah.
It's no surprising you're looking so strong today. So I want to start today off with a little story about one of our clients, Eddie, who's doing great in our program. And he was in the hospital recently. Fortunately, it was not him. Unfortunately, it was his loved one, his significant other, was in the hospital. And something that he was relaying to me I thought was really interesting, kind of sad, and kind of gave me an idea for this episode, was that in the hospital, he couldn't find anything that was really friendly to his blood sugar. He was looking around, high, low, vending machines, cafeteria, even what his wife was being fed. And he was surprised and frustrated at the lack of healthy food in the hospital. Brian, you used to work in a hospital. It's your fault.
It's my fault. Oh, that's good. I didn't expect that to come. Yeah. I thought you were going to ask what I thought. I did not eat at hospital
Yeah.
for that very reason. It's just like, it's a very sad environment when it comes to food, standard American diet. And I just, I never quite understood it, Corey. It was one of those things that just baffled me. I think it probably came down to the bottom line. And hopefully, hopefully that's something that shifts in the future.
Yeah. So for me, this episode are the 5 places that quietly sabotage your blood sugar. Number one is hospitals, and we're going to jump into that in a moment in more detail. But talking about Eddie kind of reminded me that if you're listening and you're ready for more than just information and want some structured support to reduce or eliminate diabetes medication, you can apply for our Type 2 Transformation Program using the link in the show notes. We'll start with a simple fit check to see if it makes sense. All right, Brian. So number one, back to the problems here, right? So we're not here to blame places. It's about understanding the environments so that you can navigate them more effectively. Because
Yeah.
you're not weak if you're listening to this and you found yourself like Eddie in a hospital, like there's no healthy food. You're not weak. You're surrounded, which actually sounds almost worse, but at least it takes the onus off you, right? So five places. The first one, hospitals. And when you think about it, food aside, Ryan, if you're in a hospital, whether you're the sick one or you're there with a loved one or a friend who's sick, you're stressed. High stress can raise cortisol, raise blood sugar, make decision making less effective. Your body's in
Mhm.
fight or flight mode, and when you want to flight or fight, your body typically is craving some fast energy, which usually means something sugary.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
And also when you're stressed, that dopamine from the fat and carb combination, it just hits right.
it
And so,
soothes. It
yeah, it
soothes.
soothes.
So, and then if you don't plan, you're also limited time. What are the visiting hours? Where can you get food? So you go to a vending machine, and I know the vending machines now have like a single row of like smart options, which are usually not great. You're not going to find a lot of. You could get some gum. That would be unless as long as it's sugar free, you have a pretty safe option with getting gum from the vending machine. You can go to the cafeteria. The cafeteria is serving up fried, carby messes, comfort food, and the people in the hospital themselves are often fed. I mean, the diabetic diet in the hospital is a joke. Uh, when I was working my clinic job, the number of people I had that went to the hospital and came back to me and said my blood sugar went crazy because they fed me a bunch of French toast for breakfast and grilled cheese for lunch and pasta for dinner. It's like, yeah, it's terrible. I don't know what else to tell you. So,
It's
yeah.
Can I
So,
speak on that real quick? It's because you
please.
get carb choices, and a carb choice is 15 grams of carbs.
Mhm.
So tend to be like 3 to 4 carb choices per meal, but they don't differentiate what that carb choice could be. It could be French toast, and obviously like French toast might be two carb choices, but essentially they totally disregard where the carb is coming from, which will definitely, as we know, play a big impact on how high it spikes your blood sugar and how many calories it comes with that carb choice.
Right.
So,
Yeah. So what are you to do? I think it comes down to preparation. So you could eat if you know you're going to, if you know you're going to the hospital, eat before you go. One thing that my wife and I did when we had our kids is we would either have family bring food or order, Grubhub or something with a choice that was better for us. My wife was the first person they ever said decline dessert after having a baby. Uh, she said, "What? They're very good desserts." She's like, "I don't want the sugar. After having a kid, I need to recover." So she just put a sugar allergy on her chart, so they didn't give her anything sugary. So eat before you go. Pack your own food, protein, uh, cut up veggies, jerky. Bring a small cooler in. We also did bring a cooler with us into the hospital when we had our kids too. So we had the
yeah.
go bag packed and the cooler packed, and then also we maybe it means lowering your standards strategically, which means you're playing defense. You're not going to have an optimal meal while you're at the hospital visiting or while you're there. Um, Brian, you can't beat yourself up if you're stressed in a hard situation. If you can limit the damage, this is what I say around stressful times, holidays, is sometimes you just play defense. Maybe you're not eating the perfect blood sugar food, but you're doing the best you can.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think what I'm hearing you say is that it really is about preparation. You might look a little crazy if you're packing all this food.
Mhm.
You might seem crazy if you're turning down desserts, but at the end of the day, it's about making the choice that's most aligned with your goal. And if that goal is getting off medication, then you just got to make those weird, strange choices and
Yeah.
against the norm.
Yeah, normal is unhealthy and high blood sugar and metabolically unfit. So be weird. Be weird with us when you're at the hospital. And you mentioned preparation, and I not to give it away, but I think that's going to be a theme through all of these places. So the next place is the airport. All right, you're literally crunch for time. It's often high stress, especially if you're traveling with young kids. There's convenience everywhere, and convenience is usually not strong for your blood sugar. You're walking through the bookstores and the Hudson Newses of the mall, and it's chips, it's pretzels. Yeah, they might have some jerky, and yeah, if you want a hard-boiled egg, it'll cost you like $6 from the refrigerated section. So the stronger foods are going to be more expensive, and they're just really engineered for speed. And also, fast food smells everywhere. You're going to smell the yummiest of the foods. You can smell Chick-fil-A from 2 terminals away. You can smell the Cinnabons. So you're stressed, you're crunched for time, you're you're at your like least strong willpower wise because you're managing everything else going on. So this is a place that can really sneak up on people, Brian.
Yeah, I agree. And what's come to mind for me is like, how often do you travel? Do you want to look at this as like a treat as part of the intention? But I also
Mhm.
look at my capacity and my ability to manage like what's going on around me. Like if I know I feel better and just am less groggy and all like moody if I'm stabilizing my blood sugar in the airport, and that's why I really will prioritize packing things that make me not have like a blood sugar roller coaster swing, is because I gotta keep track and not lose my kids, especially my daughter who's prone to running off. So I gotta be on my game. So you just
Mhm.
have to make that decision for yourself. Is it something where you're like, whatever, this is start of vacation, I'm gonna flip into vacation mode. That being said, I would caution people to say like, what is your vacation mode? And is if it's like wanting to feel your best on vacation, then just yeah, be really aware of those food choices and how they're making you feel. But if it's like I'm gonna split Cinnabon with my whoever I'm doing this with, and whatever, like don't beat yourself up over choices you make. Just know that each choice definitely has an impact, consequence, and just be intentional with those choices.
Yeah, I would say that I usually wait until my will has been broken by my family and kids at the end of vacation to give in to those urges on
Oh,
travel.
okay.
So the return
Yeah.
flight is where I would get the Cinnabon to
Oh, okay.
soothe my
All right.
soul. No, I like to feel that's kind of a joke and kind of not a joke, but yeah. So these what to do is sort of it's a repetition, but yeah, pack jerky, pack hard-boiled eggs, pack some baby carrots, pack some apples, a smart protein bar, and for goodness sakes, just skip the liquid sugar. You're going to get on a plane, they're going to offer you a beverage. don't get a soda. Just don't drink the soda or the juice, unless your sugar is crashing. Like that's the only time I would recommend that. So,
Yeah, and you're gonna save money too. Like just because of the sheer fact of how expensive the food is there. It's like you bring some stuff. Comes down to preparing. I usually go to the grocery store and just buy all these like on the go things that I know. I just think in my head, I'm like, okay, this might seem expensive now, but like if it saves me money from the future buying of like a $15 meal at the airport, then it's actually a return. Like I'm actually getting a return on this investment because
mhm.
I know from past experience, if I don't have anything to eat, I'm gonna get hungry. I'm gonna smell this yummy food and I'm gonna cave. I think I'm gonna go there and be just willpower my way through this. That ain't happening. Like you've got to prepare again, make a point to go to the grocery store, go to that aisle where there's all those individual treats. You're like, I can't justify paying $2.50 for this protein bar. Again, if it's not something that's staple of your everyday, but you're using it for an occasion, then you justify it because that $2.50 could save you $15.
Yeah, or yeah, when you spend $6 on a Quest bar, not saying I've done it from experience. So, Brian, that just gave me an idea. Should we offer up a travel food list for our listeners? The
Yeah,
travel
by
food list
offer up, do you
checklist?
mean create one? Like we need to create one first.
That's
Do you have?
what is
Yeah.
implied that we would have
Okay.
created
Yeah.
one and have it ready to go, Brian. But
Yeah.
yes,
Then
we'll
yeah.
create one. If you email us or send us a DM, we will send you our blood sugar friendly travel checklist so that you have
Sounds good.
staples ready to go. Brian, thank you so much for stepping all over that one. All right. I think we've hit the travel so good. The next place is a little unexpected, and it's the healthy snack aisles, Brian, because there's this thing called the halo effect, where if you put words on things that sound healthy, it will make you assume that everything about that is healthy. And you might see words like organic, all natural, no high fructose corn syrup. It's good for me, right? But
Protein.
yeah, I was gonna get the yeah, it's like granola bars, low fat snacks, protein cookies. So these are foods that are labeled as healthy. They probably have green on them. Their packaging is somehow green. There's a smiling animal or a mom holding a happy child. I don't know. And so you get assumed that just because it's in the health food aisle or even at the health food store, it's good for you. But they're very high energy density. Like a cookie, like protein cookies are just cookies with some protein added to them. They're still very energy dense. So we have to be careful because packaging is not nutrition, Brian.
Mm-mm. Yeah. It's not, but I just told people to go to this aisle, Corey. So what are you gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do? I just told people to go to this aisle. In the previous thing about the airport, go and prepare by going to this healthy food aisle and getting some things.
All right, so you have to look out for this is where we start reading labels. If you're looking for something that is a high protein snack, there's the 10 times or 10x protein rule. So you can take the grams of protein in that item, multiply it by 10, and if it is more than the calories in that serving or item, then you are good to go. It is a high protein item. If that protein grams times 10 is less than the total calories, then it's probably not high protein. And I always remember which one's greater or less than because I think of peanut butter and there's 8 grams of protein and like 200 calories in a serving of peanut butter. So I know that it's less than. So and really I would look for things that don't have any added sugar to them.
True. Yeah.
Don't and if it says cookie or it's a packaged like grain item, it's probably higher energy density. But I think a good rule of thumb is the least amount of ingredients, the better. That's a
Yeah.
simple one. And you said the healthy food aisle. I think the healthy food aisle is around the store in the produce and the
Okay.
butcher and the
Yeah.
deli.
Yeah.
Sir, you made an assumption and it caught me off guard, and now I have caught you back off guard. Ha ha.
Well, I'll say this because I think we're going back and forth a little bit here, but this is good. Maybe this is off script, throwing Corey off a little bit. But if it comes down to the fact that you have a history of buying Cinnabons, but then you see a protein cookie and you're like, I'd rather have a protein cookie instead. Not saying I've done it, but I've done it.
Mhm.
Then buy that protein cookie, take it there, so you have yourself that treat that is less energy dense
Less
and
bad.
yeah, it's less bad. So
Yeah.
that's just like a you can st it's situational. It's all situational. Now,
It
protein cookies all
depends.
the
It
time,
depends. Yeah.
not great. But like if you're having a protein cookie in place of a Cinnabon, like yeah,
Mhm.
that's a win. That is a win.
Yeah, that's a great point, Brian. So it's hard to give hard and fast advice for large groups of people. And you have to know what your own situation is. Like for me, a protein cookie would generally be a downgrade from what I would normally eat. But if you, as Brian said, normally would eat a Cinnabon or a regular cookie or whatever, and you're able to get something that's a little bit more nutritionally dense, then that's a win. And we don't want to let perfect be the enemy of good. But I think the thing to be aware of is and we're going to get to this here in our next couple ones, is sometimes what's marketed as healthy isn't as great as we think it is. So
Yeah.
that's what I'll leave it as. How about that, Brian?
Fair point. Yeah, I do agree with that.
All right. Next place, speaking of which, kids sporting events. So this could be anything from the team
Don't even
snacks.
get me started.
Oh, so I've struck a nerve with Brian. He was already frothing before we got on the mic today. You have no idea, folks. So kids sporting events. So this could be the snacks that go home with the kid, which Brian and I have dealt with now. This is my fifth season of Little League Baseball. And the coaches have always emphasized healthy snacks, and healthy is all relative. And we basically get all of those processed healthy foods. The record I think was like 75 grams of sugar in one kid's baseball snack. So, but it's not
Man.
just that. If you're going to a place where they play, oftentimes it's just like pizza, donuts, the Gatorade's filled with sugar. So, and I get it. Like parents are well intentioned. They want to celebrate things. They bring donuts for birthdays. Uh, but this is you're not going to find a lot of great options usually at a kids sporting event.
No, no. I mean, it's really sad. It's something that it actually gets me really frustrated almost to the point of like, yeah, have I tried to like prevent my kids from getting the snacks? Yeah. I'm like, come on, I'll give you something better at home. Like, let's just go. But no,
Mhm.
they look forward to the snacks. And so I try to at least limit it out or I don't know. Maybe I'm giving my kids some kind of
No, so what we've done in the past is we bring stuff with us. Like we don't leave home without extra food because our kids are ravenous. Brian has met them; they're out of control.
yeah.
So we bring stuff with us that is if, like we try to make it fun and exciting, so that instead of having juice, they get to have this. Jocko Willink came out with these new brand of like kids level protein shakes that are really fun. So it's like,
Oh,
okay, instead of
okay.
your juice, you can have one of these Warrior Kid drinks. Great. So you're not going without. We'll also talk to them before, like, hey, you're gonna get a bunch of garbage. We don't say garbage, but you can have like one thing. Or before you have your cookies, you got to have the cheese and the meat stick. Great. Like
Yeah.
there's at least a base of nutrition in there. And that's planning, preparation. As a parent, bring your own stuff with you wherever you go, because you know that if you're going to the local Little League Diamond, the snack bar is going to have a bunch of nachos and garbage. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Now, is this advice for parenting or is this like advice for the people? I mean, so
yeah,
what are we saying here?
everybody.
Oh,
It's advice for everyone. If you are a parent and you're going to these, if you're a grandparent going to these, just know that there's going to be no great options. Like our kids plays flag football, and they have the concessions at the stadium open, and it's nachos, hot dogs, popcorn. It's a bunch of energy carby messes. So
yeah.
BYOF, bring your own food.
What
And
about the movie theaters?
movie
Yeah, movie
theaters,
thing.
that's what coats are for. You bring it in yourself. Or also like, okay, this is one of those like your vacation setting off. If you really love movie theater popcorn, go and just don't get a giant tub and enjoy it. But before you go, put some real food in your belly so your popcorn's not hitting your bloodstream naked. How about
Yeah,
that,
good
Brian?
point.
All
Yeah,
right.
okay.
All
Fair
right. Number
enough.
five. Number five, office break rooms. All right. It's somebody's birthday. We brought in bagels for breakfast. There's free food from the company, right? There's leftovers from the cake and the free food. Uh, it's interesting that oftentimes that free food is what costs you the most.
Ooh,
Yeah.
say that again.
Free food costs you the most when it comes to your
Oh
blood
yeah.
sugar.
Yeah, I
Because
agree with that.
working in healthcare, we often have had the seedy drug company bring in lunch to try to sway our opinions in doctors' offices, or uh, you've experienced that, seen
Yeah.
that. So, and it's always lasagna, spaghetti, some sort of carby mess, typically. So,
Yeah.
but it's free. I got to eat it. No, you don't. So I think this is where Brian's idea of having a less bad option available at all times is good. I think having your desk area if you're going to work pre-packed with blood sugar friendly options is smart, but also know that when the cake comes or whatever, like whatever your vice is that's going to trigger your yummy brain, have something that will satisfy without causing the spike.
Yeah. And have a rule too. If it's bought from a store, got just whatever, Costco, throw them under the bus, but whatever store, like big supermarket is around you, if it's bought from there, made in their bakery, then I just I pass along and I say no thanks.
Hmm.
It's have standards.
Yeah, and that kind of gets to what actually can help. I think, as you said, decide ahead of time and have rules about it. And anticipate. The next one is anticipate these environments. Like, just know, like, we've all been to these places before. It's no surprise. Like, a kid's birthday party and there's only pizza and cake. What? Of course, that's what they're. Unless you come to my kid's birthday party, in which case you got a taco bar and it was legit and it was good and there was three delicious options that were protein centric. So. But you're not coming to my kid's birthday party, probably, if you're listening to this, unless you're one of my kid's friends' parents. In which case, thank you. We had a lovely time. Thanks for coming, Jake. Really appreciated it. So that's and then I think lower the friction of whatever food is going to be there by eating something ahead of time, so your stomach is not totally empty if you do decide to indulge in some of these options. So
Yeah.
that's and as a little bonus, one of the things that we mentioned our client earlier, a tool we really like is called the Hava app. It's HAVA, and it's our favorite food tracking tool we've ever used with our clients and our patients. And what's great about it is it's as simple as take a picture of a meal. It'll give you a number from 0 to 100. 100's better. We won't go into full detail here. We get no money from them, but it simplifies eating so much. So if you're stuck in an environment like a hospital or an airport, you can just take pictures and it'll give you a number and you just pick the best number that you can get. So
Yeah.
we'll put a link to that in the show notes. So if you want to try out Hava, you can give that a shot. I think they'll do free week trial as you record this in February of 2026, and then it is paid, but you could cancel it. We get no money, no kickbacks, no financial crossover or incentive there. We just want you to win with your blood sugar. So, um, it's we've said before, it's not that you don't know what to eat, it's that we're stuck in food environments that make the wrong choice easy. So plan ahead, prepare. If there's a sneaky place that we miss, let us know, email us, send us a DM. Uh, we enjoy the feedback. We throw it on another Rapid Fire Friday episode. But Brian, any final words from you?
Yeah. Just know that if you're not losing weight and your goal is to get off blood sugar medication, you definitely have to be in an energy deficit to reverse energy toxicity. That's where all this comes down to. Corey's been mentioning blood sugar friendly foods. And yeah, we want to take into account like how this food impacts your blood sugar. That's step one, because if you're constantly having blood sugar spikes, then you're going to be making less ideal decisions when it comes to food. But it's not all just about blood sugar spikes, it's about total energy density of food, how many calories you're getting, because even if you stay like super stable in range, but you're not losing body fat, then you're just not healing your body. You're not giving your body the chance to heal. And that's why it's not just about blood sugar spikes and stability, although that's part of the equation. It's about getting you need to get more food and just less total calories. So you're a lot of people are in this
More
trap of
nutrition and less total
yeah,
calories.
yeah.
We need to get
Well,
more nutrition,
yeah,
less
less
total
total
calories.
calories.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are in this trap of they're eating too many calories and not enough food, aka nutrition. So it's just you're constantly hungry, even though you're getting way too much energy than your body can even handle. And so we can talk about this more in a future episode.
Yeah, it seems like a different topic to try
Ah,
to focus on. It's
yeah.
almost like it didn't have anything to
Well,
do with the five places that we
well, it's
discussed.
related, Corey.
It's an
It's
underlying
related.
theme. Of course,
Yes.
it supports all of what we're doing here. And so today,
Yes.
the focus was on the five sneaky places that'll mess up your blood sugar. And Brian, thank you for rolling with this today. Thanks for challenging me. Thanks for having fun, and thanks for being so
Yeah.
fit. Keep following the workouts that we recommend. And if this episode made you think of a place that you struggle with, send it to someone who needs it, because I guarantee there's someone out there who will hear this and learn something for the first time. So, Brian, until next time, thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Diabetes Remission Roadmap podcast.
If this episode gave you clarity or hope, share it with one friend who's been stuck in the diabetes trap. That's how this mission grows. One person, one family, one story at a time. And if you haven't yet, leaving a quick review helps more people find the show and realize they're not stuck with meds forever. It takes less than a minute and it means the world to us. Thanks for being here, and thanks for being part of this movement toward freedom. Thanks for listening to the Diabetes Remission Roadmap. The ideas discussed here are for general informational purposes only and do not constitute medical or nutritional advice. We are pharmacists, but we're not your personal healthcare providers. Always consult your own physician or qualified clinician before changing medications, exercise routines, or nutrition plans. Results vary, and what works for one person may not work for another.